Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, am I truly in love with this person, or am I just trying to fill an emptiness inside of me? It's a question many of us might not even consider when we're caught up in the rush of emotions that love often brings. We tend to associate love with warmth, safety, and security, something that should naturally fill the gaps in our lives. However, it's crucial to take a step back and reflect. Are we seeking love as a way to heal our internal wounds, or are we genuinely connecting with another person because we truly value them and wish to share our life with them? In times of loneliness or personal turmoil, it's common to look outward for comfort, to seek someone who can provide solace for our emotional pain. This is often how relationships begin, not from a place of mutual fullness, but from a sense of lack. We may find ourselves in relationships that start not out of genuine connection, but because we were looking for someone to fill the emotional void inside us. We may not always realize it, but in these moments, we are using love as a temporary escape, a way to mask the discomfort of being alone or incomplete. But Stoic philosophy offers us a deeper, more profound perspective on this. The Stoics, who valued wisdom, self-control, and personal growth, remind us of an important truth that can be applied to how we approach love. No one should be your crutch when you haven't yet learned to stand on your own. This powerful statement challenges us to rethink our approach to love and relationships. It tells us that before we can truly love someone else, we must first learn to stand firm in our own strength. We must build a solid foundation within ourselves, one that doesn't rely on others for emotional stability. Love shouldn't be a crutch we lean on to avoid facing our own internal struggles. It shouldn't be something that makes us dependent, insecure, or fearful of losing the other person. True love comes from a place of self-sufficiency, where both individuals are secure in who they are and what they bring to the relationship. The Stoic approach suggests that before we can truly be open to another person, we must first focus on becoming whole within ourselves. We must be capable of standing alone, finding peace and contentment in our own company, so that when we do enter a relationship, it is based on a mutual desire to share our lives, rather than out of a need to fill an emotional void. By learning to stand on our own, we can then enter relationships with clarity, knowing that we do not need the other person to complete us. We are already whole. This shift in mindset allows us to love in a more balanced, secure, and healthy way. Only when we are strong and independent can we truly experience the depth and richness of love, free from the fears and insecurities that often come from relying too heavily on someone else to make us feel whole. The concept of the inner void, understanding our emotional gaps. The concept of the inner void is something that most of us experience at various points in our lives, though we may not always be aware of it. As human beings, we are born with certain gaps in our emotional and mental landscapes. These gaps or voids are often formed through experiences that are beyond our control, the wounds we acquire in early childhood. The deep sense of loneliness that sometimes accompanies growing up, or the feelings of inadequacy that arise when we compare ourselves to others who appear to be more happy or whole. Over time, these voids become ingrained in us, and as we grow older, we may find ourselves searching for ways to fill them. Many of us believe that the arrival of a new romantic partner will somehow heal these emotional wounds, will complete us, and will finally fill the emptiness that we have been carrying. We look at our relationship as a potential cure for the pain we carry inside, thinking that the love and attention of another person will patch up the cracks within us. However, here's the truth that many of us often overlook. No one can fill that void except you. It's a harsh reality, but it's also one that sets us free once we understand it. The truth is that we cannot depend on someone else to make us feel whole, and expecting our partner to do so is an unfair burden to place on them. When we love from a place of emptiness, we are not truly loving from a healthy, balanced place. Instead, we tend to cling to the other person. We start to fear losing them. The thought of them leaving us becomes a source of anxiety, and we begin to exhibit signs of possessiveness, insecurity, and jealousy. Our minds race with worries about whether they will stay or whether they will go, and we start to attach our emotional well-being entirely to their actions and presence in our lives. Why does this happen? The reason is simple. The other person, without intending to, becomes the fix for our inner emptiness. In our minds, they become the solution to a problem we haven't yet learned how to solve ourselves. We make the mistake of thinking that if we could just hold on to them, we would finally be at peace. But what we fail to realize is that this attachment, born from a place of neediness rather than genuine love, only exacerbates the emptiness we feel. When we attach our happiness to someone else's presence or actions, we risk creating an emotional crisis the moment that person leaves, or if things don't go as we hope. The truth is, no one has the power to fill the inner void except ourselves. Only we can address the wounds from our past, heal the emotional scars, and create a sense of wholeness within ourselves. It's important to recognize that healing comes from within. While love from others can be comforting and supportive, it cannot heal the deepest wounds. The journey to healing and filling the void requires self-awareness, self-compassion, and the ability to nurture ourselves emotionally. We must learn to fill the emptiness we feel with our own strength, our own self-love, and our own sense of inner peace. Only when we become whole within ourselves can we enter into a relationship from a place of true love, a love that is not rooted in need, fear, or dependency, but in mutual respect, shared values, and a genuine connection. This is the kind of love that doesn't crumble when the storm comes. Instead, it stands strong because both people are whole and secure in who they are. So, the next time you feel that internal void or emotional gap, remember that the work of filling it is yours to do. It is a journey of self-discovery, healing, and growth that ultimately leads to a stronger, more authentic sense of self. When you fill your own void, you will find that the love you give and receive will be deeper, healthier, and more fulfilling than you ever imagined. The power to heal your emotional wounds and fill your inner void lies within you, and that is the most liberating and empowering truth you can ever come to understand. The Stoic perspective on love is not one of rejection, but of wisdom. Stoics don't view love as a problem, but they do remind us that in order to love deeply and truly, we first need to love ourselves. They emphasize that only when you master yourself can you love someone without losing who you are. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, put it beautifully when he said, "True love does not come from lack. It comes from a soul that is already full, and it is from that fullness that we wish to share ourselves with another. So, what does it mean to love from a place of being whole? It means that you're no longer afraid of being alone because you've learned to enjoy your own company. You are comfortable with solitude because you know that being with yourself is enough. A T means that you no longer feel the need to control or manipulate your partner to feel secure because you realize you don't need anyone else to complete you. You already are complete. It means that love is free, unencumbered by expectations, and is not driven by need. Instead, it is driven by a genuine desire to share and grow together. Love is no longer an escape from loneliness, but a space in which both partners can come together and reflect, learn, and mature. The Stoics did not teach us to become cold, distant, or detached from others. They taught us how to love with clarity, mindfulness, and responsibility both to ourselves and to those we love. They emphasize that when we love ourselves first, we can love others without compromising our sense of identity and purpose. If you feel an emptiness within you, start by turning inward. Take the time to reconnect with yourself. There's no need to rush or seek external validation. True healing and growth come from the inside out. Start by writing in a journal, reflecting on your thoughts and feelings. Meditate, sit in silence, and listen to what your inner self is trying to tell you. Talk to yourself with kindness and understanding. Take time to do the things you've been putting off, things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Seek out the things that light you up from within, rather than looking for someone who will make you forget who you are. Find what nourishes your soul, so that when you do enter into a relationship, it is not to fill an empty space, but to share the fullness of your being. Before you can love someone else, you must first learn to be a good friend to yourself when you are whole. Love no longer becomes a need or a dependency. Instead, it becomes a gift that you offer freely to another. Some profound thoughts to reflect on. Don't love out of loneliness. Don't search for someone to lean on. Be the strong tree that stands firm. And if someone wishes to rest in your shade, that is a beautiful thing. Happiness doesn't come from someone else completing you. It comes from you completing yourself and then choosing to share that wholeness with another person. The Stoic doesn't avoid love. They simply don't let love make them forget who they are. In the end, the core of the message is simple yet profound. Love when you are whole, not when you are lonely. This idea challenges the conventional notion that we need another person to complete us, to fix the emptiness inside. We often hear the phrase, "You complete me," but the truth is that no one can truly complete you except yourself. The journey of self-discovery and healing is one that we must undertake alone, and only when we do so can we authentically connect with another person. Before we can love deeply and fully, we must first cultivate love for ourselves. This is not about selfishness or narcissism, but about understanding that in order to truly give love, we must first learn how to love ourselves. It's about building emotional stability within, so that we are not dependent on someone else to fill the gaps we perceive in ourselves. Only then can we enter relationships with clarity, not as someone in need of emotional rescue, but as someone who is already whole. The Stoic perspective offers us a powerful tool to navigate love and relationships. They remind us that true love does not come from lack, but from a soul that is already full. We are not looking for someone to heal our wounds or fill our voids. We are looking for someone to share our journey with, to walk beside us as equals, to learn and grow together. Love, in this sense, is not an escape from loneliness or an attempt to mask pain. Instead, it becomes a space of mutual respect, understanding, and personal growth. The wisdom of the Stoics teaches us that when we learn to stand on our own, when we can sit comfortably in our own company, find peace in solitude, and develop emotional strength and resilience, ourselves from the fear and insecurity that often plague relationships born out of need. Relationships rooted in this kind of emotional self-sufficiency are far stronger and more fulfilling because they are based on mutual choice and genuine connection, not emotional. Ask yourself, am I truly in love with this person, or am I just trying to fill an emptiness inside of me? This is a question worth reflecting on because it can shift the very foundation of your relationships. When you love from a place of emptiness, you are more likely to find yourself entangled in unhealthy patterns of clinging, possessiveness, and insecurity. But when you love from a place of fullness, you approach the relationship with openness, generosity, and emotional balance. As you walk through life, Understand that the power to heal and fill your inner void lies within you, not in anyone else. It is only through this inner work that you will experience a love that is pure, unconditional, and without the fear of losing yourself in the process. The most empowering thing you can do for yourself and for any relationship you enter is to learn how to stand tall and strong on your own, secure in the knowledge that you are enough, exactly as you are. So, as you continue on your journey, remember, love is not something you seek to escape from yourself. It is something you grow into as you embrace your own wholeness. And when you do, you'll find that true love comes naturally, as a gift that you give freely and without expectation to both yourself and others. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, true love does not come from lack. It comes from a soul that is already full, and it is from that fullness that we wish to share ourselves with another. So, before you seek someone to love, make sure you have learned to love yourself, for when you do, you'll experience love in its deepest, most beautiful form.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.